Pretty ballsy for someone whose power is a party trick.
But I'm guessing you need me in my party trick for something.
What's going on, guys? LoganJYA Orchestrator here, and today I'm gonna run through some combos with the brand new ORCUST YUBEL build. And I also have some test hands and a quick update to the deck profile included at the tail end. If you missed the first video, be sure to check it out. Link to our full playlist will be included somewhere in this video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Let's dive in. Okay, everybody, the first combo that I wanted to start things off with is Harp, Horror, and the Nightmare Throne. And this is just to demonstrate the synergy between the two engines. The way that I like to describe this build is that it's the enhanced version of what Striker ORCUST used to be, where our Nightmare Throne as a sub-package brings up the ceiling and the safety of our end board. It insulates our combo from things like Ash on Harp Horror, and it also gives us an added interruption of the beautiful Phantom of YUBEL on the end board. So this is how we're going to start things off, and let me show you what we're doing. So first and foremost, we're going to activate off that Nightmare Throne like so, and we're going to use its effect to destroy, and it's going to destroy the Spirit of YUBEL from our deck. If you're going off the original list, you'd destroy regular YUBEL, and it would special out Terra Incarnate. But in this situation, it's going to specialing out regular YUBEL. Then we'll normal summon out the Harp Horror into this board. We can link to, climbing up into the YUGiOh on the top. And then before we do anything else, we will shuffle back the YUBEL and the Spirit, so that way we can summon the Phantom to insulate the rest of our plays. So after this, you're free to go for your Harp Horror. If they attempt to Ash you here, you can chain your Phantom of YUBEL, and that will change the effect to destroying a YUBEL in deck. So you destroy your Spirit, bring out the regular YUBEL, that gives you another free extender and a body. This card really punishes hand traps, because not only does it negate it, or replace its effect, but it will give you a free extender in its own place. But we resolve the Harp Horror, we summon out the YuGiOh. YuGiOh effect is going to send off a copy of Nightmare. We can banish that Nightmare, and we're going to use Nightmare to send World Wand from deck to grave. Then I'll use the World Wand's effect, banishing it to summon back Harp Horror. I'll use Galatea's effect to shuffle back the World Wand. I'll set an ORCUST crescendo like so. And then I'll overlay my Harp Horror and my YuGiOh to go for our new boy, the Evil Swarm Nightmare on the end board. Now, I love this card in particular because he's very strong against Snake Eyes. You Book of Moon the ones that have the bonus effect to special summon from deck. You can lock them out of Flame Bridge. You hit them at the right time with a Book of Moon on their special summon, and it is game over. This card is very, very strong and hard to play around. Okay, a double Book of Moon effect makes the end board even stronger. We insulate the whole thing with a counter trap, negate, and banish. We've still got the added monster effect negation of the Phantom of YUBEL. And this is an overall safe board, plays around Nibiru, plays around Ash on Harp Horror, so I'm a huge fan of going for this play. And one final thing I'll mention, you've got two layers of follow-up. You've got your Harp Horror chilling under your Nightmare, which will return back to the graveyard after you detach it, and you've got your Orchestrated Crescendo, which you can banish from grave and search off another copy of YuGiOh, as long as you don't mind being locked into machines for the turn. But this is one combo I absolutely love. Let me show you another one. Now for this next combo, let's say we're at the same exact starting point where we've gone for our Phantom of YUBEL after normal summoning our Harp Horror into the board of YUBEL, making the Galatea. We've got our Harp Horror in grave. Instead, we just want to set up our Babel board. So of course, we're going to summon out YuGiOh from deck. YuGiOh send Nightmare. Nightmare effect, send off the World Wand. We use World Wand's effect, banish to special summon back out the Nightmare. Use Galatea's effect to shuffle back the World Wand. Set up a Babel over your Nightmare Throne. Then we can summon YuGiOh on top of the Galatea, use its effect to attach the Harp Horror. And we can choose which of these two we want to leave on field. I honestly like putting the Nightmare in grave so it's ready to go in case we're not able to get it off the board. Line up the IP Mask Arena as per usual. So we got the tag out for the Little Knight on the opponent's turn. We've got the YuGiOh locked and loaded with a Nightmare or a Harp Horror to go along with it. And we've got the Phantom of YUBEL for the added negation as well. So of course it's matchup dependent, and if you have extenders beyond just the normal summon Harp Horror, you can do things with this YuGiOh, like for example, if you have access to one additional ORCUST name or send, you can line up the symbol Skeleton, which will either let you end on the Galatea summon back on your end board, or you can summon back your Harp Horror and throw your Nightmare on there. But without an extender and just using the 2-card combo, this is pretty standard if you're going for the Babel setup. Let's move on. Okay, everyone, the next combo I want to show you is a one-card combo with the ORCUST YuGiOh, and this one is especially powerful if you're playing the Evil Swarm Nightmare along with me in this build. Now, I also want to shout out the Orchestrated Field Center. You can find a link to this in the description down below. We're running a sale on them if you want to get your hands on this beautiful Field Center. But to start off this play, of course, we're going to summon out our YuGiOh and use his effect on someone. We're assuming no interruptions. This is going to send Harp from deck to grave. And then before we use Harp's effect, we want to make sure we go for the YuGiOh to summon out tokens to both players' fields. We'll link off our token. Ever since Link Karibo has been banned, we got to switch over to the Link Spider. So it's very important that we don't get dark locked before we go for that Link Spider. Right? You got to make sure that you remember when you're dark locked and when you're not, when you're going through your combo so you don't get into any trouble. But before you commit to further into the play, you're going to use your Harp's effect to summon out your Nightmare from deck, and then you're going to link your Nightmare with that Spider into your Galatea on the top. Now we'll go Nightmare effect targeting either one of your monsters, it doesn't matter which. That'll send the World Wand from deck to grave. We banish the World Wand to summon back the Harp because we want the second level 4, so we can overlay these two into an Evil Swarm Nightmare on the left-hand side. And this is the rank 4 that I found to be the most high impact, and this is one of the few decks that is actually able to summon it, since it does require 2 dark level 4 monsters to make, and since you are dark locked, this is one of the best choices for a rank 4 you can end on. Another one that you could do is Time Thief Redoer, but I think that the Nightmare makes a heck of a lot more sense because it's 2 interruptions on its own. Those Book of Moons are going to obliterate things like Kashtira, like Snake Eye, if you hit them at the right time. But to finish off our board, of course, we're going to use Galatea's effect, returning that World Wand into the deck and swapping it out for an ORCUST Crescendo in the back row, giving us that beautiful counter trap, additional layer of interruption. So we're ending on an Omni Negate and Banish and 2 Book of Moons off of 1 card, which I think is a phenomenal combo. I want to round out this video real quick by doing a test hand and just seeing what we're able to put up with a regular old hand of cards in one of my favorite decks. Let's do this. All right, homies, 100% unscripted, we are going to be going through a test hand. And I'm pretty confident with this deck, so I love doing the test hands and seeing how far we can push the end board. So I'm giving this a few riffle shuffles, another final cut here, and we're going to see how we open up and what kind of end board we can produce. I used to do these a lot in my combo tutorials back in the day, so if you want to see a return of more combo tutorials and you want us to include the test hands, let me know in the comments. But let's see how we're opening up. We're starting things off with an Ash, an Imperm, a Nightmare, a King Sark, and a YuGiOh. I think this is a great hand to start things off with. We don't got the YUBEL package. So I'll start things off with the King Sark. I'm actually going to pitch off the Imperm first so I can send the Imseti like so, and special summon this guy out without getting hit with a Bestial of some sort. Then I'll use it one more time to send out the Nightmare. It's going to be impossible to 100% avoid because we're inevitably going to have a dark monster in grave and a monster on the field, but hey, is what it is. At least we're guaranteed to get the Imseti online. And this will threaten the rank 8. They have a choice of either going after the Nightmare. Well, now we get the rank 8 no matter what, so they're kind of beat. They can still go after the Nightmare, but we obviously have our normal summon YuGiOh, so we're going to threaten them really heavy by summoning back the Happy, overlaying it with the Imseti, and I usually love just to insulate my plays and go for the Photon Lord. So we're safe from Nibiru now at this point, we're safe from a Veiler on the YuGiOh, and even if we did get Veilered on YuGiOh, I don't think I'd use my Photon Lord, I'd rather save it, since we have access to the Nightmare. This would still put up a Crescendo board, guaranteed. But next, I will commit the YuGiOh normal summon, use its effect, sending Harp from deck to grave like so. We've already got the Nightmare. This is going to send our World Wand for us later. It doesn't really matter what order we do this in. I'm actually going to start things off with the Nightmare, banishing it, sending World Wand from deck to grave. Then I'll use World Wand's effect, banish, special summon back out Nightmare, link 2 up, go for that Galatea on the top. Next I'll use Galatea's effect. I'll shuffle back that World Wand. And here I'm definitely going for the Babel board. We're saying this is blind game 1. I'm not going to have any extra materials that I'm going to need to burn, so I feel pretty safe about going for the Babel. We'll throw that up over there. Now we can redeem our Harp's effect in the grave, banish. I'll use that to special summon out Symbol Skeleton. Next we'll go for YuGiOh on the top of the Galatea. YuGiOh effect to attach. We'll grab that Harp back, and then we can link it with our Symbol Skeleton into my favorite end board with ORCUST. This is just the bread and butter. You know, it's really safe, it's really simple. We're ending on the IP Masquerena with every single name we needed locked and loaded in the graveyard. So we got Symbol locked and loaded with Ding on its own. We've got a Harp, and we've got a Nightmare. So we can summon out a Girsu on the opponent's turn. We can do battle phase shenanigans to boost attack points. We have a trigger to bring out our Ding Girsu whenever we want it. And also, if we did get hit with the double hand trap situation, you know, worst case scenario where they go Nibiru, chain Impermanence to negate the Photon Lord, they sack off our board. We actually don't care that much because we do still have the Symbol Skeleton, which can bring back our Galatea in the end phase, so we're not ending on a completely empty board if we want. We still have Symbol Skeleton access since we played 2 copies. We can lock and load it with a Nightmare on the opponent's turn to send a copy, or we can special summon Girsu off of Harp, which will send the second copy of Symbol to keep the Ding Girsu live. So this board really plays around double hand trap, it plays around Nibiru. It's not a challenge at all. We've got the further bonus of having the Ash Blossom in hand. It's going to be pretty hard to lose against most decks ending on this. And I tell you what, I'm having such a good time. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. You know, I absolutely love playing with this deck. This is one that I really don't mind doing test hands for. I could sit here and play it for hours. I feel comfortable with it. I love it. It can get tricky if you're playing against a matchup that you're not familiar with, I will say, on when to use your interruptions. You've always got the same set of them, and you're usually ending on similar tools, right? You've got your Ding Girsu send. You've got an SP Little Knight Banish that you're tagging into. You've got things like that Nightmare to Book of Moon. And you may not necessarily be sure when to use it, and that really only comes along with practice. So, I mean, hell, test hands will get you started, but you really want to take this deck into a tournament setting and see how it treats you, right? So, for example, with this hand, we're opening very heavy on the engine, but we do got our Nightmare Throne, and that's going to help insulate our plays. So we've got 2 different choices for a normal summon. I'm probably going to end up going with the Harp rather than the Girsu. They're pretty equivalent, though it's not going to make too much of a difference. I'll start things off with the Nightmare Throne, use its effect. Then I'll nuke off the Spirit to special summon the YUBEL for free. And I'm actually going to normal summon the Harp. I think it's the better normal summon to go with here, and you'll see why in a moment, because I'm actually going to dump out of my hand a little bit heavier. I'm going to link to, and instead of going for Galatea off the rip, I'm going to go for the Barrel Board blocker, so I can pitch that Nightmare out of my hand as well. And cool thing about this is if we go for our Babel end board, I'm going to get to add back that Nightmare Throne for free. So before committing to anything else, I'll take my 2 YUBEL pieces, shuffle them back in, set up the Phantom on the side. Now, in this deck, it's not like a YUBEL deck where you've got your Nightmare Throne in the back row, so you want to leave it in attack. You want to leave all your YUBELs in attack, so when they come to swing at your life points, you've got something that they have to run into and they end up hurting themselves more than they hurt you. In this deck, it really doesn't matter. If this gets negated somehow in a way that you can't stop, you don't want it to be in attack position as a 0/0, so I prefer to keep it in defense. But yeah, for the next play, banish off that Harp, use its effect, summon out the Mighty Girsu. I'll use Girsu here. I'm going to use it to send the Symbol Skeleton now. Then I will link 2 onto the top, go up for the Galatea, use Nightmare's effect, send off the World Wand. I'll use World Wand's effect to banish, special summon back the Harp, use Galatea's effect to put back the World Wand, go for the Babel on this end board. And I hate to be boring with it, guys, but I'm slapping down that Ding Girsu over the Galatea, reattaching the Nightmare, linking these 2 off into an IP Masquerena on the top like so. And as silly as this looks, I'm going to set that Imperman pass. Even though it doesn't look like a lot, this is a crazy powerful end board. In the end phase, we've got the choice, as I mentioned. I may very well go for the Symbol Skeleton banish to summon out the Galatea in their end phase, because there's really no reason not to. We have the Nightmare and the Harp locked and loaded, so I'll banish Symbol, bring back out that Galatea, and at the same time in the end phase, we'll also get to add back that Nightmare Throne since we did resolve Barrel Board Blocker's effect. So that's just a free discard. It threatens additional sends with the droplets, and if you want to, you can once again use the Nightmare Throne as a free extender. We don't play a second copy of Phantom, of course, but you can use it to pop a Spirit Index, summon out a YUBEL if you just need one more body to link climb with. So again, 2 cool end boards that we're able to do with this build of ORCUST. If you like what you're seeing, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of decks you want to see next. Combo tutorials, X, Y, and Z. You already know the whole kebab. I'm thinking about doing some Adamanticators. If you want to see Adamanticators back in their prime, let me know. I've got a crazy build put together. I'm also got Eldritch on the deck. These are just some of the things we can do. And of course, Infinite Forbidden is right down the road, so you know we're going to be doing a ton of Drytron content. If you want to see that stuff, smash that like button, comment down below, and subscribe so you don't miss a darn thing. That's everything I got for today, guys. LoganJYA signing off. Have a great day, and I'll see you beautiful people later. Peace! Okay everyone, to bring this video to a close, I just want to give you a rundown of some of the key differences in this list from the previous list that I profiled. This isn't going to be a fully fledged deck profile. If you want us to talk through all the card choices and stuff, I encourage you to check out the original video. But I'm going to basically run through everything in this build so you have the most up-to-date list. So of course we're doing triple YuGiOh. We've got triple copies of the beautiful Harp Horror, double copies of Symbol, 2 copies of Nightmare, 1 copy of the World Wand. This is one notable change I will mention. I mean, enough people commented about it. I did switch it to 1 Spirit of YUBEL and regular YUBEL because they are a little less bad to draw. Hand trap lineup is still triple Ash and triple Veiler. Full Horus Regalia, we got triple copies of Yemseti and 1 of the Happy Big Dumb Monkey. Keeping the King Sarks at 3 as well. 1 copy of the Babel, 1 copy of the Orchestrated Return. Triple copies of the Mighty Nightmare Throne, 1 Terraforming to Search It, or your Babel, triple copies of Droplet, triple copies of Talent, 1 Call By, and 1 Foolish. Finally, for the traps, we got the 1 Crescendo, and as a surprise to nobody, triple copies of Imperm. Extra deck, just going to run through it real quick. We got both copies of Galatea, and the 1 copy of the Long Duck Dong Girsu, got to play them. Still playing 1 copy of Link Spider, 1 of the Baraborg Blocker, 1 copy of IP, and IP's slightly more expensive cousin, the SP. 1 copy of the Dark Charmer, essential, mandatory, definitely play this guy, don't cut him. And I'm still playing Mr. Walking Man Boral Sword to go after those life points. We got the 1 copy of the Phantom of YUBEL to go with our new YUBEL engine. And for our X-Seeds, we're playing 2 copies of the Ding 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 Girsu, 1 of the Photon Lord, 1 of the Vampire to go with your Horuses, and then the last one, my favorite card, the new addition in this build, is the Evil Swarm Nightmare, which is one of my favorite end board pieces to pursue with this build of ORCUST. So that's everything for this quick little revised profile at the tail end of the combo video. If you like what you saw today, be sure to smash that like button, share it with your friends who are also trying to learn new and innovative ways of playing ORCUST, and give this build a try. It is a ton of fun, and I think after we see a ban list coming in, swooping on against those Snake Eyes, this might be a pretty strong contender as well. So give this deck a try and let me know what you think. LoganJYA signing off. Have a great day, and we'll see you beautiful people later. Peace.